This is an excerpt from the poem Reynard the Fox, or The Ghost Heath Run. It was written in 1919 by John Masefield. It is the story of a fox hunt. In a fox hunt, men ride on horseback, following their hounds. The hounds follow the scent of the fox. At this point in the story, the fox is running from the hounds. It is told from the standpoint of the fox. The poem uses the term gorse, which means shrubs. He was leading the hounds by a furlong clear. He was past his best, but his earth was near. He ran up gorse to the spring of the ramp, the steep green wall of the dead men's camp. He side-led up it and scampered down to the deep green ditch of the dead men's town. Within, as he reached that soft green turf, the wind, blowing lonely, moaned like surf. Desolate ramparts rose up steep on either side for the ghost to keep. He raced the trench past the rabbit warren close grown with moss, which the wind made barren. He passed the spring where the rushes spread, and there in the stones was his earth ahead. One last short burst upon failing feet. There life lay waiting, so sweet, so sweet. Rest in a darkness, balm for aches. The earth was stopped. It was barred with stakes. With the hounds at head so close behind, he had to run as he changed his mind. The earth, as he saw, was stopped. But still there was one earth more on the Wandike Hill. A rabbit burrow, a furlong on. He could kennel there till the hounds were gone. Though his death seemed near, he did not blench. He upped his brush, and he ran the trench. He ran the trench while the wind moaned treble. Earth trickled down. There were falls of pebble. Down in the valley of that dark gash, the wind-withered grasses looked like ash. Trickles of stones and earth fell down in that dark valley of dead men's town. A hawk arose from a fluff of feathers. From a distant fold came a bleat of wethers. He heard no noise from the hounds behind, but the hill wind moaning like something blind. He turned the bend in the hill, and there was his rabbit hole with its mouth worn bare. But there, with a gun tucked under his arm, was young Sid Kissop of Pearl Pit's farm, with a white hob ferret to drive the rabbit into a net which was set to nab it. And young Jack Cole peered over the wall and loosed a pup with a zibbitin saul. The terrier pup attacked with a will, so the fox swerved right and away downhill. Down from the ramp of the dike he ran to the brackeny patch where the gorse began. Into the gorse, where the hills heave, hid the line he took from the eyes of Sid. He swerved downwind and ran like a hare for the wind-blown spinney below him there. He slipped from the gorse to the spinney dark. There were curled gray growths on the oak tree bark. He saw no more of the terrier pup, but he heard men speak and the hounds come up. He crossed the spinney with ears intent for the cry of hounds. On the way he went, his heart was thumping. The hounds were near now. He could make no sprint at a cry and cheer now. He was past his perfect. His strength was failing. His brush sagged, and his legs were ailing. He felt as he skirted dead men's town that in 1 mile more they would have him down. Through the withered oak's wind-crouching tops he saw men scarlet above the copse. He heard men's oaths, yet he felt hounds slacken in the frondless stalks of the brittle bracken. He felt that the unseen link which bound his spine to the nose of the leading hound was snapped. that the hounds no longer knew which way to follow, nor what to do. That the threat of the hound's teeth left his neck. They had ceased to run. They had come to check. They were quartering wide on the wen hills bent. The terrier's chase had killed his scent. He heard bits chink as the horses shifted. He heard hounds cast, then he heard hounds lifted. But there came no cry of a new attack. His heart grew steady. His breath came back. He left the spinney and ran its edge by the deep dry ditch of the blackthorn hedge. Then out of the ditch and down the meadow, trotting at ease in the blackthorn shadow. Over the track called God's Down Road, to the great grass heave of the gods' abode. He was moving now upon land he knew, up Clench Royal and Morton too, the Pulbrook, Cheddiston, and East Stoke Church, High Clench St. Lawrence, and Tinker's Birch. Land he had roved on night by night for hot blood suckage and furry bite. The threat of the hounds behind was gone. He breathed deep pleasure and trotted on. While young Sid Kissop thrashed the pup, Robin on Pip came heaving up and found his pack spread out a check. "I'd like to wring your terrier's neck," he said. "You see, he's spoiled our sport. He's killed the scent." He broke off short and stared at the hounds and at the valley. No jay or magpie gave a rally down in the copse. No circling rooks rose over fields. Old Joyful's looks were doubtful in the gorse. The pack quested both up and down and back. He watched each hound for each small sign. They tried, but could not hit the line.